What I expect is a solid point of start, but a bike which will grow all along the season.
I'm so proud to be part of this because you can see on the faces, no, how hard they were working all these months.
We made steps. We want more. We are working on it.
This year, this was done twice, I would say. It was a double effort, trying to improve the performance.
And it is finally the fight against the efficiency of the resources and the limited of the time.
I would say there were a lot of emotions when I had the opportunity, the responsibility, and also the honor of take this position. And for sure is the sense of responsibility, the first, in contributing to, for me, a bit of historical company effort in trying to reboost, of course, our performance on track, but doing this in a new way, which it's all about innovation and mixing knowledge and different cultures. And I found this, as I said, the responsibility, but also very exciting, very fascinating, and potentially impactful for Yamaha as an overall organization. To do what we are trying to do, which is racing every weekend while we are developing a new machine, you have a lot of efforts. Sometimes I'm thinking about this. It's like we are changing the engine of a plane, but we cannot land. We are racing and we are preparing the future. You are all part of the same group of people sharing the same passion and helping finally this journey to be back where we want it to be, which I think is over there on that podium, as soon as we can and as much often as we can.
I mean, last year especially, we saw how tough was qualifying. This year we improved a lot in a single lap that was clearly one of the biggest weak points last year. But yeah, I'm happy about my qualifying. We saw that we start, like you said, 10 times on the front row, 5th pole position. So this was clearly the most positive of this 2025 season.
We try to give our best in every single session, but it's true that sometimes we were a little bit far. I try to give my best. If I need to mention some good races, I will mention the ones from Indonesia. It was we had a really good weekend, really strong in straight away to Q2, starting on the, I think, first row or second row. It was quite nice.
I think without any doubt, the key achievement of this year is that we have stopped a negative trend and we have turned it into a positive, which we have now the target, the challenge and the responsibility to confirm. We were looking for speed, which was maybe the biggest problem in 2024, and I would say on the flying lap we found the speed. Clearly thanks to Fabio, exceptional talent in that condition, but in general the bike was faster than 23 and 24. What we miss is the consistency of performance. We're, I think, pretty good in the flying lap. We have improved on the sprint race and we struggle more in the long race, which is clearly showing that those are the areas where we need to focus for the future.
Yeah, of course, you know, as a rider, I think everybody wants to improve more and more and more. But it's true that we made a small step, especially on how much we work in the team. We made steps. We want more. We are working on it, but yeah, we show also a bit more of consistency.
As I said before, I think in this roller coaster, maybe it's a bit extreme to say, but the highlight of the season is a DNF. Because for me, Silverstone remain the moment we could have seen Fabio in the condition to do what he's capable to do, the bike in the condition to allow him to be capable to do what he has to do. Motorsport is anyhow sometimes a violent sport, and small technical issues has denied a victory, which maybe could have changed a bit the sum up of the season. But again, this gives us confirmation that any details is important. We need to keep focusing. But yes, regardless of the result, I really keep Silverstone as the highlight of the season.
Silverstone GP was the best and worst, I would say, GP of the season, because I felt I was clearly super strong. On the qualifying we finished P1, but also 3/10 from the second. In the race I was with 5-second leads, more or less, riding really, not easily of course, but really smooth.
Yeah, this is the invisible part of the effort. No, already normally what is happening at home with the engineering job is something you can only perceive the results, but it's a big effort which we always do. This year this was done twice, I would say. It was a double effort, trying to improve the performance, which, as I said, under certain aspect we succeed to do on the M1, which was racing, because anyhow when you are exposed to a global platform in MotoGP, you cannot stop putting effort in racing. But in parallel we were preparing our plan B, which at the end of the season has become our plan for the future, which will project us into 26, but even further, because the effort we have been putting on the V4 is for sure targeting another step in competitivity in 26, but is also the foundation of the new rules which will be applied in MotoGP from 27 to 2031.
The parallel development of those two big projects is unprecedented and enormous challenge under the current MotoGP rules. And it is finally the fight against the efficiency of the resources and the limited of the time. We start to feel something interesting, and we are continuing to develop it.
It's unbelievable, honestly. All the effort that all the people is putting in this new project is super high. I'm so proud to be part of this, because you can see on the faces, no, how hard they were working all these months.
This was the development of the V4, our season. So of course was many people involved, and was a really tricky year.
What we have already seen is that based on current, let's say, MotoGP, the new configuration, the new bike, because it's not only a new engine, is addressing some of the main issue of M1, which is the grip and therefore the acceleration and the braking capability, because you can also use the rear wheel to brake. Of course, the project is really still in the early stage. It's coming close to the first, let's say, racing specification, which we will see at the end of February, early March in Thailand. But what I expect is a solid point of start, but a bike which will grow all along the season. Because this is most probably the difference from today M1, which has arrived at the maximum possible development of that kind of concept and bike configuration, versus a bike which is still very fresh, but the most important that we'll have to keep growing all along the season.
Yeah, especially this year, I felt a lot the warmth from the fans, no? When we were going to Taipei, when we were going to these events with Yamaha, so they were so close to us. They were feeling like super high, no? All these moments. So yeah, for much more next year.
Yeah, it's always super nice, like I said, when we have the fans and see how much they are going. So I think that is really positive to have their support, and especially when we have to make some some stats in the result.
Dear Yamaha fans, we are coming to the end of a very intense season. This has been actually the longest MotoGP season ever, because for the first time we have completed 22 racing weekends, many tests, many nights trying to improve our performance and our package. And what I need and I want to tell you is, first of all, thank you. Thank you for the support, thank you for the passion. Sometimes also thank you for some constructive critics. You can be sure we are more than ever committed. You can be sure everybody is working 100% or more, and we're going to bring the brand and our bike where it belongs, but where we want them and our riders to be.
Hello everyone.
Thank you so much for your cheer during this 25 season and for the next one.
We are gonna make a better one. We are working on it.
We need the same power, the same strength that you were supporting us.
And you can enjoy racing in 2026. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, and let's go.